Welcome to Chocolate Cover Games' monthly melt segment of games played for the month of August. My name is Tim.
And I'm Doug.
And today I'm going to start off with two games that I played before Doug's played them, because I know you haven't played them yet.
I bet you I did.
Did you play Grove and Orchard?
I played Orchard.
Okay, so I'll go with Grove first.
Okay. It's the same game, sort of.
Kind of. Grove is an 18-card game where you're building a grove of fruit, and you do this by stacking cards on top of each other. So you want apple trees on top of apple trees, oranges on top of orange trees, and you keep track with how tall your orchard is by each tree with dice.
Yeah.
And each time you stack, the dice value gets higher. If you stack the wrong kind of tree on each other, on this version you put a bad apple token.
Yeah.
And that gets you negative 3 points. You can do that twice in this version. But then let's go on to the other version. Orchard.
It's the same thing. You're matching colors of the trees.
But with this one, there's empty spots on the card.
No, that's Grove that has the empty spots.
Is it?
Yeah, Grove has the empty spots. Orchard doesn't.
Okay. So I described as Orchard.
Yeah.
So Grove gives you empty spots and replaces the bad apple token with a squirrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much the difference. With Grove, there are empty spots which you can put trees over, or you can put empty spots over the trees.
Mm-hmm.
In Orchard, all 6 spots on the card have a tree, and
it gives you two options, two bad apple tokens, where this one gives you one, angry squirrel.
Yeah. And then if it's just one, if you cover that tree once with the same color, you put that color dice with the 1, put another 1 on top, you switch that dice to a 3, another 6, and then 10.
Yep. I haven't got a 10 yet.
No, the most I got was 6.
Yeah.
A 6. But the best I've ever did was 17 points, which is still the bottom level.
I think the highest I got was 28.
Yeah. I did almost have it where I lined up an entire card perfectly that I could have laid it over top.
Well, that's the thing. You can never have one card completely covered. It always has to have one piece of it showing. It's in the rules.
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that at any point, but I could.
In the rules, at least one piece of the card.
Well, I guess it would have.
And then you can only rotate your card sideways. You can't turn it upside down.
Yeah, you can.
Well, maybe it's the other one where you can't. You can only have it up because each card's numbered.
Yeah.
So you can either have up or turn side to side, but you can't have it upside down.
Orchard can go anyway.
Okay, the first one, then you can't have it upside down.
But I enjoyed Orchard.
Yeah, Orchard and Grove are both fun.
I printed it.
Yeah.
The print and play version a long time ago, and just never played it. Mm-hmm. Mainly because I didn't have the colored dice.
Yeah.
Which I could have used any dice.
Yeah. So those two of the games we played. Let's go with print and play, since you talked about. Let's go with Abstract.
Okay. Abstract
is you're making art.
Yeah.
Paint by numbers, kind of.
Yeah. It's a very abstract game, as the name implies.
Yeah, you roll 2 dice.
So you roll 2 dice, and what that does is the number.
You choose one to be
the color,
and then you choose the other where to place it.
Well, no, you roll 6 dice. Remember, you roll 6 dice, right. And then you choose 2.
You pair them off, essentially.
Yes.
So
it's 2, 2, and 1. Yeah. And the 1 is the color. Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to remember. This was a very weird game.
Yeah.
Because on the paper,
it's a block of
it's a 6, and then
each group of 6 has 4 blocks in them.
Yeah. So you're using. So each, actually, you don't group them. Because remember, 1 number was the color.
Yeah.
1 number, 1 or 2 was the star, or no, 5 or 6 was the star, which was a victory point you could circle. 3 or 4 let you move.
The area.
You could bank a 3 or 4, and that lets you choose any of the blocks to put it in, and a 1 or 2, was that the one that lets you change color?
I think.
And then there were ways to score depending on how you, like, what Tetris form your colors were in.
Yep. Or if you had different color each column or different color in each row.
So we're probably doing a horrible example of explaining this, but for a simple rolling color game, it was a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
But for a free print and play, it was, I thought, hefty.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you do need crayons or colored pencils or markers. So, and the dice.
You could probably just write in the color in the box.
Yeah.
You could just be like orange, red, purple.
But that loses the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, well, it'd be more abstract that way.
Yeah. But that's abstract. A print and play game, I believe you can still get it. It's probably still out there for free.
Yeah, I'm sure if somebody typed in abstract roll and write game, coloring roll and write game, I'm sure they could come across it.
Yeah.
The next game we played is also a roll and write. Well, not roll and write. Roll and move. Print and play game. That's Lawnmower Racing. It wasn't on BGG.
Oh, I forgot all those games we played.
Well, that was the only one that was on BGG. That's Lawnmower Racing. It's a little postcard size game.
Yes.
Where you have 2 dice. One dice is your lawnmower. The other dice is, I guess, your speed.
Yeah. And these were... who were those by?
That's by the people that made the wrestling game, the GAAME game.
No.
Yeah, that's who it was by. They also did the Rodeo one. I'm telling you, that's who it's the word game spelled with 2 A's.
It's play.
Play game. I knew it had 2 A's in it.
It's under Play Classics, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's in that Play series. They do History Maker Baseball, things like that. They do. They did these things where they designed a whole bunch of these business card games. Yeah.
I guess it was 3 dice because some of the times you had to do like a 12 or 7.
Yeah.
You can't do that with 1 dice. But 1 dice was your lawnmower, and then you had 2 dice to roll. And you had to roll certain numbers to move your lawnmower.
Yeah.
If you didn't, your lawnmower got damaged and you spin down your counter.
Yeah.
And if you ever got to 0, your mower exploded.
Yeah, because you had to roll the numbers that were upcoming on the board to move.
Yeah. And you could always stop if you rolled like the exact number you needed to heal up and not move forward.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just kept pushing my mower until I blew it up at the line.
Yeah.
So that's what you would do with lawnmower racing.
Yeah.
No one's playing lawnmower racing safely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Lawnmower Racing. Don't know if you have anything else to add to that game.
No.
The 5th game we played this month is one of Doug's favorite. And that's Guillotine.
Oh, what about all those other ones?
What other ones?
Those other business card ones.
No, we didn't play any other one.
Yeah, we played the bull riding one.
Nope.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, bull riding one is you have 2 dice. There's on the business card, it tells you what the bull does, if it bucks, if it does something. And you gotta keep rolling. It's a push your luck thing. If you don't call what you're wanting to do, like you're like, oh, it's gonna buck, and you hope it lands on that thing. And if it doesn't, it throws you off. And you have 8 rolls to do. That's it. It's whoever doesn't get thrown off. And you can always stop. You're like, oh, I lasted 6 seconds. That's fine. Even though that wouldn't work in bull riding. Yeah. You're like, I'm good at 6-second bull, and the other person's like, I lost at 2 seconds, and you're like, I won. I explained the game very well.
Yeah. You're just rolling the dice, and no, because remember you're picking to see if you get it right.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I said you're like, I think it's gonna buck, so it's gonna land between 1 and 2. It's a 2. I was right. So
yeah, you pick if you're gonna hold on, if you're gonna do.
It's gonna tornado. That's a 5 or 6. I got a 5. I held on for another second. It's gonna kick. I roll a 4. It didn't kick. It threw me off.
Why I can't find their website now?
I
bet you because I'm at the wrong one. It's Play Now.
Yeah.
So they had that. Did we play any of the other ones?
No, I believe those were the only two, because that night we also played...
We played, so it was Bull Ride Hero.
Yep.
Was that one. And Mo Master.
Yeah, those were the only two.
They also have a couple of those other games. Again, they're free.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe those were actually... who's the guy that owns that company, I believe? Keith Avalon. Designed by Keith Avalon. The mowing one was designed by Mike Fitzgerald and Ian Bach. Well, Mike Fitzgerald does baseball highlights.
Okay.
Your favorite game.
Yep.
But I do know that like the Bull Ride one, Keith Avalon, they were doing a lot of stuff online with fans of the play series of games. And I thought that was pretty cool. So those were sort of like some home brewed games in that series that they're doing.
Okay.
And if you never checked out play.com, check it out. There's some good simulation. If you like Stratomatic games, they have History Maker Baseball, there's History Maker Golf. We have Face to the Mat Wrestling, which I'm trying to get Tim to do a series, because that's very much you create your own storylines and you have wrestling matches, and he's creative with that, and I think would do a good job with it. So
let's go to our number 5, which is Guillotine, which I'll let you explain since it's in your top, I think, 15 when I made your list.
Yeah, I do believe it's in my top 15. It might even be in my top 10. I don't remember off the top of my head. Guillotine is basically you have 2 decks of cards. One is the royalty. One is the action cards. So you lay out 12 the royalty cards from left to right. The little guillotine props at the end, which the one that comes in the box, it's just a little paper thing you fold over. Going to a Renaissance fair, I may look to upgrade that component. If I could find the little miniature guillotine, that'd be kind of cool. But what you're doing is whatever card is at the front of the line, when it's your turn, that is the card you get. So you may want that card. You may want to move cards around, especially later in the lineup, so that it would fall in order where it would come to you. Because there are cards that are worth 5 points, cards that are, all different values. Cards are worth -1, but if you have certain cards, they may be worth more if they're paired with a different card. Or if you have, I think, so many Royal Guards, they increase each time. I enjoy this game. This, to me, is, again, one of those home run games for me. I know for sure it's in my top 20, top 15, even maybe top 10. Like I said, I don't remember off the top of my head. But I guess I should have my top 10 memorized.
You should.
I have my top 3.
You should have your top 100 memorized at all time. Somebody runs up to you and be like, what's your 74th favorite game? Should be able
Do you know?
What, your 74th?
No, yours.
No, I wouldn't know your 74th.
Do you know yours?
Yes.
What?
It's Chinatown.
Yeah. We don't own a game called that.
There's a game called that.
Yeah, we don't own it. We never played it.
On my 100 list, there's a lot of games we don't own that.
Yeah, but we never played it.
Yeah, we have.
But Guillotine, definitely check that game out.
Alright, next game we played on this month, is Wild Serengeti.
Yeah.
Wild Serengeti is one of the newer games that came out, where you are a photographer in Serengeti. And it's all about manipulating the animals on the board. You have one action where you're moving to either get animals on the board or moving animals on the board already.
Yeah, moving them around.
And you have cards that want you to do certain things, like how these animals in the row, these animals in a group, this animal in like a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, so the scoring cards are picture cards, is what it is. You're trying to take those pictures. And the harder it is to get the animals in that order is the bigger point cards. Mm-hmm. So if you need like one of each animal in a row, that can be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Or if they need to be like in a row and some have to be on certain geography features.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just maybe you need an elephant next to a crocodile next to zebra.
Yeah, but one of them has to be in like a river.
Yeah, like the crocodile had to be in a tree for
Yeah.
some reason. Whatever it was. Or they had to be... Each thing was different. And I thought that was really unique. And then after the third round, was it third, fifth?
Yeah, no.
After, I forget which rounds. It might have been
fifth, and seventh, because there's 8 rounds.
Third, fifth, and seventh then? They did it 3 times.
Yeah, because the top 3, nothing happened. Then once you got, so it's the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th, I think. Or 4th, 6th, and 8th, one of the 2.
Yeah. There were 3 rounds where you flipped over what they called a migration card. And any animals that were in those spots
Left the board.
So it was a way to clear the board somewhat as those animals migrated away from where you were. And, that could really swing the game. Because if you're like, oh, man, look, next round I have this card in my hand and those animals are exactly where I need them. That migration card comes out and 3 of those animals are gone.
Yep.
That was tough. And though the other thing was with the scoring with the cards with like the hearts and things like that to get the FX tokens and things like that. Because I never got any heart token cards.
And that's all I got.
That's all Tim got, and that's what won him the game.
Because every time they came out, I'm like, oh, I guess this time I'm just going to take that card instead of doing a thing. Because
I never got any in my hand when you drew cards at the beginning of each round.
Yeah.
So I strictly went after victory point cards. And I think you only ended up beating me by a couple.
Yeah.
Because you ended up with so many points at the end of the game. Like, I was 60 points ahead of you going into final scoring.
Yeah, all my points came to after.
And in final scoring, I scored 5 points. And you scored 70. So, it's one of those games where, yeah, it's not over till the final scoring for sure, because you can have some wild swings. And I wonder if the game would be different at 3 players or 4 players. 'Cause playing it at 2, we were the ones manipulating all the animals.
I'm sure it gets more chaotic once you have
more animals would have came out. You wouldn't have blocked those things at the board, because if you were in a space and if I wanted something to an animal in that space to come out, I would have to pay for it. At 2 players, because you can't stay in the same space, well, I just go do something else to move. Where in a 3 or 4 player game, you might have to do that because you want to get that out. So I bet you 3 or 4 players does change the game up a little bit.
Yeah.
I also think it would make it a whole lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was pretty long as is. But I thought it was good.
I did like that every scoring card had a fun little fact.
Yeah.
About the Serengeti, which,
and
even though it's flavor text, it's still nice.
Yeah.
I do know they were working on a sequel, because they've mentioned it on their Kickstarter that they're working on Wild, name entered here because it's supposed to be Amazon. But I guess they said they could be sued by Amazon, which I guess they own the naming right to Amazon, which is interesting.
I wonder if they call it Wild the Amazon.
No, I think they're going. The thing that they're thinking about is calling the lungs of the world, because that's the nickname of the Amazon
rainforest.
Well, there's many rainforests out there.
Big rainforest.
Big rain. South America rainforest.
Yeah, there you go.
The next game on the list that we played was The Spill.
Yep.
Now, I really enjoyed The Spill because Castle Panic is one of my favorite games out there.
I enjoyed it too.
I've seen a lot of negative feedback from people reviewing this game. One of the things is they don't like how the board's always set up the same way, which I can understand.
Yeah.
But I think if you left it to chance, all your animals could wind up on one side. And that could really kill the game because everybody would just be over there.
Yeah.
So I do, like I said when I unboxed it, there is 2 sides to the board. They could at least have a second side on the board where it was slightly different.
Yeah.
And then I think that complaint could have went away.
Yeah, you could have had an easier game and a little harder game.
Yeah. It is a reverse castle defense. Instead of the problems coming from the outside in, your problems are coming from the inside going out. Where essentially an oil rig ruptures and oil starts spilling to the ocean. And your job is to save the animals from being killed or contaminated from the oil. Throughout the game, you'll remove oil dice. That's one of the main goals. Because each game, you get a victory card. And it gives you 3 things you have to do.
Yep.
Remove so much oil, save so many animals, and what's the third one? Remove oil, save animals. Save a certain number of animals, and then save a certain set of animals. Like you need to save 6 sets of these or 5 sets of those. It is a fun game.
Yeah. I think it would be better with more than 2.
Yeah.
Even though with 2, you
still play 4 characters.
Yeah, you play 4 characters.
Yeah, no matter what, you always play a 4-person game, no matter how many people are playing.
The oil dike in the middle as the dice tower is a unique idea, though I do think ours may be defective because like 99% of the dice went to one area.
I think the table was leaning.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Try it on a different table. But yeah, I mean, if you like Castle Panic, I think you'll like that game.
Yeah. That was the spill. The last game we played this month, we played twice, because it's the first time we completely played it wrong. That's DC Deck Builders Teen Titans Go.
We only played once.
No, we played it back to back.
Well, no, we played like 10 hands, and then we went back and redid it.
Okay.
We didn't play it twice. We played it 1.5 times.
The DC Deck Builders series, this version, Teen Titan Go, adds sidekicks.
Yes.
So instead of just having your main hero on your side, you also have your hero, and all the cards you didn't choose are sidekicks. Now, when we read the rule books, it said there'd be things that say recruit, and we thought, oh, that meant the small cards. We were wrong.
They're on the sidekick card. It says
what you
have to do to recruit that sidekick.
Like on your turn, if you play 5 equipment cards, you get to recruit Cyborg, and he just comes to your side.
Yes.
We didn't figure that out because we got a good bit into the game. We're like, man,
we got almost all the way to the very end.
We're like, we never got a single thing to recruit any of these people. This is a terrible game.
And then I figured it out, and then like the last quarter of the game, we played with it.
Yeah.
But by that time, I was so far ahead, it wasn't going to matter.
Yeah, because all my cards, I kept trying to get cards that say, oh, this helps when you have psychics. I'm like, well, once I get psychics, I'm going to get a ton of points. I never got psychics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then the thing was, once we figured out how to recruit it, our decks were so built that
it didn't really.
We just every time we played, we had all the sidekicks.
Yeah, they would just hop back and forth. But yeah, it's a DC deck builder game. It's the same as almost 100% of them.
And I like the DC deck builder.
Yeah.
And I like Marvel Legendary. I like deck builders. My favorite game of all time is a deck builder. The best deck builder of all time. Should be Tim's #1 deck builder of all time. And then his top 10 games, but apparently it's not.
Is that Bill Collector?
Yeah.
Where you keep getting bills into your deck, you keep trying to get rid of them. It's like the reverse deck builder.
Yeah.
It forces cards that are bills upon you.
No, the greatest deck builder is Baseball Highlights 2045.
That's strong.
But no, DC deck builder, Teen Titans Go. We need to play it again using the proper thing the whole way through.
Yeah.
And you can, again, mix it with all the other DC deck builders. Which, again, DC deck builder, any of them, it's just mindless fun.
Yeah.
We know how to play the DC deck building series of games, except we didn't realize how to use recruit.
Yeah.
And you can mix that with the other one, so you can have, Robin with Robin.
Yeah.
And
I mean, not many people mix the DC deck builders together.
Yeah.
You kind of just keep them separate, but.
So those are all the games we played this month.
Yep.
So I guess you do your least favorite game of the month.
Yep.
And I do the favorite.
Yep.
Well, we already know what your favorite is because he did say it.
I guess my least favorite out of these, I'll go with Bull Mania. Why not?
Because the first time I rolled dice, I was done.
I mean, it's like I rolled 2. He didn't spin. I guess I fell off. I was a terrible cowboy today.
Yeah.
End of game.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess my favorite, Guillotine. It's in my top games of all time. But putting that one aside, if I got to put that one aside, I would say Orchard.
It's a fun game.
If I put Guillotine aside, mainly because it's in my top 20, Orchard, but Guillotine's my favorite of the month.
Right. So those are the games we played for the month of August. Leave a comment down below if you've played any of these games.
Or what you played.
Or games that you've played this month. I'd love to hear those. Also, do like and subscribe to the channel. Share the video. It does help. We're getting closer to 50 subscribers every year. That's the goal per year.
Just to get to 50?
Yep. It's going to be a great day. Other than that, tell us what games you played, and thank you for watching. And stay sweet.